Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and the latest roundup of wrestling game news, where today we're talking the latest patch update for WWE 2K23 with patch 1.22. We have news on 2K24, virtual basements the wrestling code, and a new DLC release for AEW Fight Forever. So let's start with AEW Fight Forever, as this week sees the release of the latest DLC pack, Beat the Elite. Unlike previous DLC that included new wrestlers, arenas and minigames, the Beat the Elite DLC is a new game mode that takes on the form of a challenge mode similar to the 2K Towers in 2K19. In Beat the Elite, players must complete 10 consecutive matches, 9 of which take place against random opponents, with a member of the Elite then challenging you in match number 10. If you're successful in defeating all 10 opponents, then you'll be rewarded by unlocking new cosmetic items, including new wrestler skins, some of which do look kind of cool, though others are similar to what you can already make with the very limited Creation Suite. If you're interested in the mode, you can pick up the DLC individually for £5.79 in the UK or $6.99 in the US, or if you have or intend to buy the Season 2 pass, then this DLC is also included with that. From playing the mode, it's a fairly decent addition, but it definitely doesn't feel like something that should be DLC, as it's essentially a series of singles matches against characters that are already in the game, and while there's different difficulty levels to test yourself against, they don't really offer much in terms of a challenge, and outside of the wrestler skins, the rewards that you earn are actually really poor. To give you an example, one of the rewards that you can unlock are 10 player icons that you can assign to your profile, with each difficulty level rewarding 10 more for a total of 40. However, rather than include 40 different icons, there's really only 10, as the icons you get for completing each difficulty level are essentially the same, as the only difference is the colour of the border. Given the amount of characters in the game, there's no reason to include the same 10 logos repeatedly, especially when players are paying for this, as it feels like a really cheap way of padding out the content. Overall, Beat the Elite feels like more of a mode that they could have added as part of a free update, which is supposed to be what they were planning to do after all the complaints of the game's limitations, though given the reviews and the performance of the game, it kind of feels like a lot of the Season 2 DLC are things that may have been planned as free updates but are now being pushed out as DLC to make some money back. Staying with Season 2, looking ahead to the next and final DLC pack, we have the Storm is Coming pack, which is set to include the addition of Toni Storm, and while it's expected that this will release next month, no release date has currently been announced. Up next, we're talking Virtual Basements the Wrestling Code, as things have been pretty quiet around the project for a little while now. However, this week did bring us some news, the first of which was a new roster announcement, as the Virtual Basement Twitter account announced that they've signed the upcoming independent star Erica Demir. The announcement post also confirmed that Erica will be joining the Day 1 roster, so you'll be able to play as her at launch. Alongside the announcement of Erica, Virtual Basement also released a brand new behind the scenes video which featured former WWE and ECW star Tajiri as he performed mocap. While the video doesn't show any new gameplay, it does show off some of the animations that were recorded, as alongside his signature movements, we also see Tajiri mocap his signature moves, including the buzzsaw kick, the tarantula, and even the green mist.
Yeah. And if you don't know, now you all know.
Joining Tajiri, the video also features the original selfie master Sonny Ono, who was shown recording a tag team entrance, as well as some ringside animations which see him causing a distraction and then attacking a downed opponent and taking a selfie. As for what's next for the Wrestling Code, the tweet that was published with the video noted that they're preparing for an epic journey to Japan, so it looks like they'll be continuing to record mocap into the new year. Up next, let's talk the new patch update for WWE 2K23, as this week's seen patch 1.22 release, with this patch bringing with it around 2GB worth of updates, though what those are remains somewhat of a mystery, as unlike recent patches that were primarily made up of new models for MyFaction, WWE Games modder What's the Status has noted that this update didn't actually include any new models. The only MyFaction updates that were found in the patch were design elements, with WWE Games modder Witty Witterson revealing that the patch included an updated Judgment Day render for Damien Priest, which appears to be an update for the 2023 model that was patched in a few months ago. Also contained in the update were new images for Royal Rumble card packs, though the images in these were covered in pink to avoid spoilers, which is something that the developers haven't done before, so maybe they have some surprise models planned for closer to the Royal Rumble. If they are planning a surprise, one name that springs to mind is that of Pat McAfee, as earlier this year dataminers confirmed that Pat was originally intended to be a DLC character, as the game included a hidden character slot for Pat, with his entrance motion, his trons, moves, and even his logos all included in the game when it first launched, albeit hidden. Should 2K include Pat, it would be a fitting inclusion given that the hidden art is for the Royal Rumble pack, as Pat made his surprise return to WWE in the 2023 Royal Rumble, so if he is planned for MyFaction, then it would make sense to hide the cover and keep his inclusion a surprise. Now, I do want to make it clear that Pat's inclusion in MyFaction is purely speculation, as there's nothing to confirm this. It's all going off the hidden artwork and the potential of a surprise, and while it would make sense, I do think it's more likely that 2K might hold him back so that he can appear as an exclusive character in 2K24. Aside from these updates, the official patch notes included on PlayStation note that the patch included general updates and bug fixes, and whilst not knowing what those were, there was one fix found recently that was made in an earlier patch and went unnoticed, as creator I Am No Modder noted an update to the Mr. Red, White and Blue entrance motion. This motion, which was added in 2K20, was intended for Hacksaw Jim Duggan, with the motion seeing him come down to ringside holding an American flag in one hand and an invisible 2x4 in the other. The 2x4 was missing in 2K20 and in 2K22, though it was finally fixed in a recent update to 2K23. While this change could just be the result of a user reporting the problem and then 2K fixing it, given the recent news suggesting that 2K24 could feature a lot of new legends, the update to the motion could also be a change that was noticed while updating it ahead of a potential inclusion in 2K24. It's also worth noting that unlike a lot of the other entrance motions that are left over from previous appearances, Jim Duggan's never actually appeared in the main series, though he did appear in 2009's Legends of WrestleMania. Like a lot of stars that were recently signed to Legends Deals, Duggan was also recently announced to appear in the upcoming Ultra Pro Wrestling, so it could be that WWE is signing a lot of these deals to stop stars appearing in other games like UPW and the Wrestling Code. The good news though is that I'm told anyone announced for those games is still able to be featured, as the Legends deals only stop stars from signing new deals and it doesn't affect any contracts that they've already signed, so there's no worry of people like the Sandman or the Dudleys or anyone else that's signed on to appear in other games being removed. So that's the latest roundup of wrestling game news. I don't expect we'll see much else happening this month, given how close we are to Christmas, but the new year should bring a lot of new updates, especially for 2K24, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching this video, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.